everybody. Today I am making a dish called shrooms, and it is a very special dish to me because it is one of my brother's favorites. And it's a stuffed mushroom dish that I came up with because my brother, my big brother, and when I say big, I mean very big. He's about 6'6" and 300 pounds, and he likes to eat. He's very busy. He has his own excavating company, and he rarely gets time to come see me. So one of my ways that I entice him to come see little sis is to promise him I'll fix him whatever he would like to eat. And he loves mushrooms any way you can get them, but he loves fried mushrooms and a breading, and he also loves my stuffed mushrooms. So one day I came up with this recipe of creating a stuffed mushroom that is not fried, but it's breaded in panko breadcrumbs and baked, and so it still has that very crunchy fried effect, yet it still has the goodness of the stuffed mushroom on the inside. And when I call him up and say, "Stevie, would you please come see little sis?" he'll say, "Lish, if you make me some shrooms, I'll be over." So the shrooms actually is his name for my mushrooms, and it's sort of a little term of endearment, and I decided to stick with that title. So what they consist of is the large white stuffing mushrooms, and these hold up better than, say, like a portobello just because they're thicker and meatier, and they'll take the high heat of the oven. The filling consists of 12 ounces of cream cheese at room temperature and softened. And then to that, I add a mixture of Vidalia onion that has been sauteed and actually caramelized on the stove with some sugar and salt and pepper. And I actually use about 2 whole cups of Vidalia onion, but when they caramelize down, there's not a whole large amount, and you'll see that. The other thing is I put in about 6 sprigs of fresh thyme in that, and 2 cloves of garlic. And then the breading is, first we'll dip them in an egg wash, and then the breading is panko breadcrumbs, and then I'm going to add parsley and Parmesan cheese and some garlic powder to that to actually even give those more flavor. And then we drizzle with olive oil and bake them. So let me get started with my filling. I've actually already got this ready. And so that's what it looks like when it's all nice and soft. And I'm going to actually drain this because I do not want my filling to be too wet or to have too much oil in it. So I'm going to let that drain on the paper towel there. And then as you can see, my fresh thyme stems are still in there, so I'm going to pull those out. I don't want to lose any of my onions. That's the best part. I'm even going to just dab those a little to try to get as much oil out of that as I can. The best part about these mushrooms too is that they are kind of like the black dress. You can dress them up or dress them down. These are nice enough and fancy enough to serve with like filet mignon or seafood for a very nice dinner, or they're just as good to have for game day. I'm going to go ahead and add a little extra crushed black pepper. And then what we're going to do is put this in a piping bag when we get ready to fill them. And a lot of times it's actually best, I try to do this even a day before and get them even actually already stuffed inside the mushroom, and then you can put them in the refrigerator and they'll keep at least for a day. The warmth of the onion kind of helps to even soften the cream cheese even more. I'm going to go ahead and add, I've got about, half a cup of fresh parsley. I'm going to put about half of that in my filling, and then the other half I'm going to put in my breadcrumbs. And yes, I use curly leaf parsley. I don't know what everyone has against it. I think it's very good. I like it just as well as the flat leaf. And here in southern Ohio, we don't have a lot of fancy gourmet shops. Our grocery store has a few neat things to cook with, but not a large amount. And so we kind of have to use what you got. And I can't say that I have found too much of a difference between the flat leaf and the curly. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and have a sample that was stuck in my tongue. I'm actually only going to do 2 of these tonight just for demonstration, and I'm going to put the rest in the refrigerator, and I'm going to see if I can entice my brother to go ahead and come over and see me. But I'm going to put it all in my piping bag because I'll just seal this up, and what isn't used I will use tomorrow. I love using panko breadcrumbs because they are so crunchy, and I have completely converted to using that in olive oil and baking things instead of frying them. It's much, much healthier, and it's not as heavy, and you still get that great crunch. Keep that down in there. Now for time's sake, I'm going to go ahead and stuff these and then go ahead right into dipping them. But typically what I would do is put them in the refrigerator for a few hours so that this cheese can get nice and firm back up and be cool again. And we just pipe that in. Oh, there's a sprig of thyme. We do not want that. These are so delicious. Okay, put that out of the way. So here's what you do. We need to fix our breadcrumbs. They're just plain right now. We'll add some collar with the rest of my curly leaf parsley. Add some garlic powder, probably a teaspoon, teaspoon and a half, depends on how much you like. And then probably about a cup of Parmesan. Just gonna use my hands. Mix that all together. This is an egg wash. I've just got 2 eggs and probably, a quarter of a cup of milk. So you just dip the whole thing in the egg wash. Get it nice and coated. And then I put cheese side down in the breadcrumbs. Roll it real good. Usually 1 coating is sufficient. I guess you could double dip it, but usually 1 is enough. And they're so pretty. You hate to eat them, but then you get over it. And this might be a lot of extra breadcrumb, but I always say it's better to have too much than not enough because it's hard to go back and recreate the same exact taste and measurement, so it's always best to have a little bit left over, I think. Okay, so there you go. I'm going to drizzle with olive oil. Then we're going to pop in a 450-degree oven. It's very hot because I want them to get brown and crunchy real quick because it doesn't take mushrooms long to cook, and if we put them at a lower oven, they would just be soggy. So I'm just going to pour olive oil all over the top. And pop them in the oven. But this is a very mushroom that can bring a big man to his knees. I'll try not to burn myself. I want to cut into it here and let you see how wonderful this is. All that wonderful cheese, and you got nice thick meaty mushroom and the crunch of the outside crust. So you get cheese with every bite, you get crunch with every bite. Delicious. Now tomorrow, they'll probably even be better because the cream cheese will have time to chill out in the refrigerator with all those other ingredients, and the flavors just blend even more. This was great the way it is, but tomorrow they'll be even better. So I think I'm going to go now and post my video on the web and send a copy to my brother and see if I can't get him to come see his little sis.